Hello everyone, welcome back to the Face the Black Nation channel, and I want to come at you with another timely video. So with this video, I am going to be discussing about a woman. Her name is Belinda Miller out in Georgia, and what this woman did was she drove her SUV into Popeyes because her order didn't have biscuits. And as you can see in the thumbprint, she does look like not a lot is going on there. But what happened, the manager at the fast food place has told deputies that a customer later identified as Belinda Miller drove her Toyota RAV4 into the entrance of the building after she became upset that her order did not have any biscuits. Now, another witness told investigators that she was waiting in line inside the Popeyes when Miller allegedly told her she better hurry up and get her order because she was coming back in there. And the manager stated that before any of this happened, she had corrected the mistake and gave Miller her biscuit, but states that Miller was still not happy. So now Miller has been arrested for aggravated assault and criminal damage to property. So even after receiving her biscuit, she still was not happy. So I want to talk about, because this is what it all boils down to, and it is called mental illness. Now, this is old. This is according to the National Library of Medicine. According to them, approximately 7.5 million African Americans have a diagnosed mental illness. But this number could be up because this number was taken from Davis in 2005. However, women may be overrepresented in this population, given a reported 2-to-1 gender ratio of depression. So black women, your ratio of suffering from depression is up. This is why I have said that there is more, at least over 70% of black women who suffers from some form of mental illness that has not been properly diagnosed. Now, see, the reason why I say that is because what would make a person to take their vehicle and to slam it into a restaurant where they accidentally forgot to give you your biscuits, and yet when they did give you your biscuits, you were still upset. Now, sociopath and psychopath, we all heard of this. Sociopaths, they are less likely to play along. They make it plain that they are not interested in anyone but themselves. And they often blame others and have excuses for their behavior. Some experts see sociopaths as hot-headed, and they act without thinking how others would be affected. Whereas psychopaths are more cold-hearted and calculating. They carefully plot their moves and use aggression in a planned out way to get what they want. If they're after more money or status in the office, for example, they'll make a plan to take out any barriers that stand in the way, even if another person's job or reputation. All right. Now, this comes from the webmd.com on mental health. Now, the reason I want to focus on sociopath, because it relies and relates to the behavior of some of our black women. Because this particular black woman, Belinda Miller, she displays a sociopathic type of mentality because she was hot-headed in the moment. She only acted out. She did not think what she was doing and how it was going to affect others. And even though she was given what she had wanted it, she still put off the blame onto others. Now, this is exactly what a lot of black women do. A lot of black women, if they cannot get their way, then they are going to make sure to make your life and those around them a living Hades. They are going to make sure that you are going to experience a bad day. They are not going to think about you or others, because when we think about it, when it comes to black women and their behavior, they are very unapologetic at what they do. They don't care who they hurt. They don't care who they step on. So it's almost like they have the mentality of both, but they are both a sociopath and a psychopath. To me, it seems like they have both of them, but the majority of them behave as a sociopath. You see, because with the psychopath, most of them, they are intelligent and charming and mimicking emotions, and they do pretend to have an interest in you, but they don't really care. Whereas a sociopath, they are less able to play along, and they just do without thinking. They're not, let's just say they're not too bright. They just do whatever they want, whenever they want. And that's why they say that psychopath, they are calculated killers, and that they are cold-hearted. This is what they say about them. Now, with black women, some of them do have the characteristics of being a psychopath, especially when you have those who delete their children. I believe that there was one in Chicago where a mother deleted all 5 of her children. You see, we have too much of that going on in the black community, and our black women over here thinking that is not an issue, when we know that black women really need to see themselves a psychiatrist and a therapist. They really need to see somebody so that they can actually get the help that they want. But see, they don't want to go along with the negative stereotype that speaks upon this particular issue. I have said in my previous video about the mentality of the black woman that you can't tell her anything. And when a black woman says that you have to tame her, because it's like, are you saying that you are a wild animal? So a man should have to sit up and put up with your type of wildistic mentality? No man should have to go through that. But see, black women, they have that hyena type of mentality, meaning that they are going to attack no matter what is around them. They just going to attack you, and they attack in packs. That's what they do. Just like real hyenas in Africa, they attack in groups, and then they do just stuff out of the ordinary. And this is the reason why they have the issues with the lions, because the lions, they get kind of tired of them, and that's why they attack them in a manner to basically cause a problem for their numbers. But when it comes to black women, their mentality is, you can't tell me anything. They have the mentality of a child, a spoiled, rotten child. And I know that people who've been around spoiled, rotten childs, they are the worst children to be around with. But it just goes to show you how the parents is raising them. It's that because black women has become rotten to the core. Black women has become the shame among the black community. As I have stated before, and as Sister Shahrazad Ali has stated before, when you think of the other communities, when you think of the white community, you think of the white man as the backbone. You think of the Asian man as being the backbone of the community. You think of any other group of men as being the backbone of their community. But when it comes to the black community, the black woman is the backbone of the black community. However, that community is in shambles, and that community is violent. That's why we have so many of our youth, especially our young boys, are out here committing all type of crimes and being dysfunctional, because they come from a dysfunctional home, because they come from a mother who is extremely dysfunctional. They come from a mother who needs to be on medication, but she is not taking the medication because of her pride and because of her ego, or she just feels that, oh, you're supposed to just handle me like a wild animal. That should not be the case. Black women, they have that small mindset, and they think that everyone is supposed to revolve around their world. They think that no one can tell them anything. They think that they are above reproach. That is what they think. And so when we have this type of mentality, it causes dysfunction amongst the black community. And it causes our young girls to be raised in the same type of dysfunction. And so it is repeated. The dysfunction is repeated. We have close to 80% Right now, I believe it's 76%, but I do know it's close to 80% of black women as being single mothers. Now, see, this is all done on purpose. Now, I have already talked about the destruction of the black community and gave you the timelines. I already talked about that. But yet, we also have black women that have the mindset of that they are independent and that they don't need a man. What they really meant to say is that they are independent of the black man, but dependent upon the white man, meaning also known as the government, meaning that they need his Section 8, they need the food stamps, they need the Medicaid, and they need the Medicare. That's what they're dependent upon. And so when it comes to their tax times, when they get over 10 stacks back, they use it to spend it all upon them. They don't use it to spend it upon the children. They don't. They try to make sure that they get themselves a brand new outfits for themselves. They get their weave done. They get their nails done. They get a brand new car. They get all of that other type of stuff for themselves and not for the child. They don't get anything for the child. They don't try to set up a college fund so that they could put that towards the child's future education. You want to know why? Because just like sociopaths, they only think about themselves. They only have an interest in themselves. And then that they want to blame everybody around them when their world has come crashing down because of their toxic mentality and because of their views. See, their views is morally corrupted and bankrupt. That's why you cannot talk to black women, because they don't want to listen to you. Black woman is like a brick wall. When you talking to her, you're just talking to that brick wall, and you're not going anywhere or getting through that thick skull of hers. Black women always have a nasty attitude. When you walking down the street and you see a black woman, she has a face up on her that says, "Don't talk to me." That's why I try to myself keep it a matter of conscience when I'm walking down the street, not to have that type of mean mugging face. But if someone were to see me, that they see a friendly face, that's why people say hello to me, and I make sure that I say hello to them back, especially a black man. If he says hello to me, I make sure to say hello, how are you, how is your day, because I do know that if he was to say hello to another black woman, she's going to sit up and say, "Who you talking to?" or she's going to give him a mean look like, "Don't talk to me." And then black women have to understand and wonder why that they are the least desired. This is according to statistics that black women are the least desired and the least to be married. That's why there are so many of our black women who are single, and it's a shame that we have so many black women that are single but with children, and they're raising a bunch of dysfunctional children. This is why our children cannot read and cannot do math. This is the reason why our children are out here living by themselves, trying to raise themselves and their younger brothers and sisters. You are 6 years old and you try to raise your 6-month-old baby brother or your 2-year-old baby sister. This is exactly the type of dysfunction that we have going on within the black community, and it is never going to be corrected until black women take a step back and see what is it that we are doing that is contributing to the destruction of the black community. See, the way how I look at it is that black women are the white supremacists or the Karens within the black community. And the reason why I say that is because if there's an issue, or if that black woman have an issue with that black man, she immediately called the cops. Now, I'm going to give you an example. My uncle, this was years back when he was living with his girlfriend, when he was living with her. They got into an argument. She put her hands all upon him. All he did was push her back up off of him. She called the police and told the police that he was beating on her, which was a lie. The police came and arrested him. Now, she ended up calling my mother. The girlfriend ended up calling my mother and was like, "Can you go down?" Because she said that she has warrants on her. She said she wasn't able to go down because she wanted to bail him out with her own money. So I am the one who went to her place, got the money, got on the bus, and I went to the Cook County Jail, and I went to put money on his bail to get him out. Now, this is all type of dysfunctional relationship. Now, thankful my sister, my aunties, and my mother got on him saying that you need to have a place on your own. That's another issue that black men need to remember. You need to have your own place so that if she acts a fool, you have somewhere to go instead of you land up with her. But see, going back to what I was talking about in my example, the dysfunction is because she started the argument. She started to put the hands on my uncle. When my uncle was trying to protect himself, she called the cops. What is it that white people do, or what is it that Karens do? The immediate time that they see a black man, they immediately call the cops with the hopes of the police deleting that black man. So when I say that black woman has the same mentality of the white supremacist or of a Karen, that is what I am talking about. They have that same mentality, hoping that the police would delete that black man so that she ain't got to worry about him anymore. This is how I feel when they call the police on their sons and on their grandsons. Is that they hope that the police will get rid of them because they're sick and tired of them. Because see, the thing is that you, the child, inherits from the parents. So if one of them has a form of mental issues, then that child is going to inherit it. That child is. And not only just that, the child, if they constantly see, if they may not inherit it, but if they constantly see someone who is being dysfunctional, seeing someone who laughs and cries at the flick of a light, they see someone who wants to be all apologetic, but then they turn around within 2 seconds and they be angry and they're ready to throw things at you. When they constantly see stuff like that, they always arguing. They're always getting into a fight. There's never a time of peace. That person, that child is going to have something develop within them that is called dysfunction, and it is called anger. That child is going to grow up and be angry at the world, which is what we see every single day. That is why, going back to this story about that woman, Belinda Miller, she's angry at the world. And as you can see on her face, on the thumbnail, you can see that there is something wrong with her, that she needs to seek some type of help. First of all, she looked like a dude because of the way how she got her hair cut. She got it cut very short. There's nothing wrong with having a short haircut, but when you try to mimic your life off of a man, you're going to behave and act like a man. For you to get upset because someone did not add biscuits to your order, and so you take your vehicle and you slam it into an establishment, something is wrong with you mentally. And that is what black woman does. When she cannot get her way with her boyfriend, what does she do? She gonna take a brick, bust out his windows, and she gonna take her keys and key his car. That's what she does. She goes to destroy his property. I remember a young brother that I know of, and he said he used to deal with this female, and yet he had a video outside of his apartment, a camera outside of his apartment, and he was able to record the woman busting out the windows of his nice vehicle. As of course he had to pay for it, but I was like, you should really take it and press charges. And he was like, he didn't want to go through all of that, which to me is crazy. And black men, you need to stop allowing black women like that to slip on by, because all you doing is letting her know that her behavior is acceptable. When you do not take corrective actions against a black woman, when she causes any type of bodily damage to you, to your vehicle, you're allowing her to continue to get away with her toxic behavior, which she's going to continue to do until you are deleted. Because see, black women are just like the Terminators. That's why, like Tommy says, that they are the BT-5000. They are just like the Terminators. They will not stop until you are deleted, until you are gone. They just will not stop coming after you. So black men, you need to make sure that you protect yourself at all costs. So back to black women and their toxic behavior. Black women, they really need help, because for black women to think that it is okay to twerk at a funeral, to twerk on top of a vehicle, and while you're in the street, for black women to just cuss their little children out like they're talking to a grown child. A grown man or a grown woman. And we've all seen this before. That child is a toddler, and then she's over here cussing that child out like that's an adult right there. We've seen this type of behavior before. They are sociopaths. They have a mental problem. They are suffering from bipolar. They're suffering from being schizophrenic. They are suffering from depression. They are suffering from PTSD. They are suffering from everything that is known to mankind, or probably not known to mankind. However, by them not seeing anyone, it cannot properly be diagnosed. It can't. But see, black women don't want to see anyone because they don't want to be looked at as being in a negative light, when really, if you actually go to see somebody, there's someone will actually take the time and will actually respect you. But see, this is the reason why also too no one wants to be around you. Now going back to this, when black women wants to wear their weave, that's a form of mental illness as well. And the reason why I say it's a form of mental illness is because you're basically telling yourself that you hate the way how you look. And not just that, you want to make yourself look like a Latina. That's what you want to make yourself look, which is the reason why they begin their hair all type of, their weave all bone straight and everything else, or they get a perm, which there's a lawsuit out because you could develop ovarian cancer from those perms that you put in your head, or fibroids. You could get all of that from putting all that chemical burn on your head to try to look like somebody else than what you're supposed to look. Our hair is naturally tight curls. It is curly. That's why our hair defies gravity. It grows out the way how it grows. It's not nappy. It is curly. Only those who say that it's nappy are ignorant and stupid. They are very ignorant. So I don't want to hear the word nappy because it is not called nappy. But see, black women has grown to hate their hair so much. This is the reason why you see black women, when it comes to their children, they put weave in their little girl's head. They destroy their follicles before they can get to age of 8 years old, which is the reason why by the time they are 10 years old, they're wearing a wig. Because their mother are so doggone lazy, because she, again, as a sociopath, she only thinking about herself. She only thinking about herself and her well-being and her way of life, that she could give a darn about that child. She really can give a darn about that child. So that child goes about with destroyed edges, destroyed hair, looking like who did it and what for, and then that child grows up to be just like her mother in that same destructive path that her mother was on. It's the same repeated cycle, and it never breaks until someone actually takes the time and say, you know what, this needs to stop. This needs to be broken up in two. This mentality has to stop. It has to be broken. Black women needs help. They need to seek mental help. They need it. Because we have too many out here that is destructive. They ready to fight you at the drop of a dime. They are so ready to fight you. They would use any and everything to harm you. They don't care. And not just that, they don't care where they're at. They could be at a restaurant and they will start twerking, start arguing, start fighting. If you look at these reality TV shows, what do they show you? The Love and Hip Hop. They always showing you black women with the weave, with that, like I said, that's mental illness, with the weave, with the long Freddy Krueger nails, with the long broom bristle like eyelashes. They look like a drag. That's what they look like. They're in a drag show. And they look so horrible, but yet they are so ready to get down and to fight you. They want to cuss you out like a sailor. They are anything but being a dignified black woman, but yet they want to call themselves a queen, and they want everybody else to tell them that they are queens. You're not a queen. Queen of what? A queen, she has soldiers. A queen, she collects taxes from other people. A queen, she actually has a government. That is a queen. And a queen has a king. You cannot have a queen without a king. Whenever there was just queens by themselves, they always had nothing but men around them. Magistrate, they always had men in their corner, because they knew that if they were to try to govern on their own, they would be overtaken and overthrown. So they needed to have men with them. Black women needs black men. But see, because of the mentality of black women, they push the black men out of the household because they feel that they don't need black men, but yet they wonder why the community is so dysfunctional. It's because of you. You're the reason why this community is so dysfunctional. You're a dysfunctional person. You don't want to seek the mental help that is needed. You are a sociopath. Some of them are psychopaths. You suffer from bipolar disorder. You suffer from schizo. You could be suffer from everything, but yet you don't know about it. But then by the time you get older, you're even more out of touch with reality, and then you become even more dangerous. When the older they get, they become more dangerous. This is a fact. Go in your community. If you live in the black community, all you got to do is just walk outside and you see a black woman, and everything that I am saying is true. It is very rare to find yourself a good black woman, a stable-headed black woman, a black woman who knows that she has issues and she goes right ahead and she takes care of those issues. It's very hard to find that. A good black woman that actually knows what she needs to do and actually handles her business, because black women are like children these days. They like children that don't want to accept help. When you have been around children that doesn't want to self-help, it makes you stressed out and it gives you a headache. That is what black women has become. They give you a headache, which is the reason why a lot of people don't want to be bothered with a lot of black women. They don't want to be bothered with them when they see them. Black women, they out here making themselves look like a minstrel shows, whether they are big like Lizzo, want to look like who did it and what for, shaking that flab all over the place, thinking that it is cute and acceptable, or they want to look like Sierra and then want to have the nerve to demand and ask for respect. Are you kidding me? You don't deserve any respect. The reason why you don't deserve any respect, because you do not respect yourself. That's the thing. You do not respect yourself and foremost. So therefore, people are not going to respect you, which is the reason why you are going to constantly run into problems amongst yourself. You're going to continue to run into problems until you fix yourself. Black women always talking about, we're always being told that we have the issues. Yes, because you do have the issues. You refuse to see the issues that you are going through. When you have that black woman who was a therapist who had that long weave, the long braids, talking about she was trying to give black men a backhanded compliment, talking about black men need to go and seek help. She needs to be saying that black women needs to go and seek help. Black women 2 to 1. Black women are 2 to 1 gender ratio of depression, according to the National Library of Medicine. According to the National Library of Medicine, black women is reported 2 to 1 gender ratio of depression. Okay? It's black women that needs to help. Black women needs to go and seek help. But see, if you support this out to black women, even though there is data here, if you support this out to them, they'll sit up and say that you're bashing them. I kid you not. You could bring them all type of unequivocal proof. You could bring them the proof, all of the proof that you have in your hands, and they will still sit up and say that you are bashing them, that you're talking down on them. This is why I say that they are sociopaths, because they like to blame others and have excuses for their behavior. They have all type of excuse for their behavior instead of accepting accountability and saying, no, I'm the reason why this is happening. I'm the reason why this is going on in our community. I'm the reason why our household is so dysfunctional. I'm the reason. They don't want to sit up and say that I am the reason. They don't want to point the fingers at themselves. They do not. And it really is a shame. It really is a shame. And the thing about it, they have no shame. That's the effed up part about it. They have no shame for this dysfunction behavior that they possess on a daily basis. They show it to the world. When you're on the bus with them, when I sometimes have to take the bus to work, and when I need to sit down when there's a seat, Black women love to have their items next to you on the seat. So when I had to ask black woman, especially because I live over here on 70th and South Shore, which is predominantly black. So I would ask politely, can I sit right here? You know what I receive in return? The eyes being rolled, the heavy sighing, and then slowly taking their stuff and moving from the seat. Now, see, I could be the type, be like, I don't need to sit right here. But since the distance that I live from the job, I'm going to sit down. And then what they like to do, they like to move around. And then guess what I do? I give them that look. I give you that look. Like, we're not going to play today. It's too early in the morning for you to be acting a fool. See, it does not matter what time of the day. It does not matter. Black women will act a fool. And it be 7 o'clock in the morning. I'm like, you waking up angry already? It's 7 a.m. in the morning. You waking up already mad at the world? Are you serious? Is there a time where you are not going to be mad and angry at the world? Are you going to sit up and say, I'm going to try to act like a decent human being for once in my life? Are you going to try to behave like that? Or are you just going to try to make everyone's lives around you miserable? Like I said from the beginning of this video, they try to have it so that the world is supposed to revolve around them. That is not the way how it works. That is not how any of it works. Black women really need to get themselves together, because black women, all I see is nothing but more destruction. All I see is nothing but more toxic behavior, toxic femininity. That is what it is. We are seeing each and every day story after story of black women abusing their children to the point of deleting their children, their offsprings. Black women do not care, because see, being a woman, you are supposed to be that natural nurturer. Animals take care of their children. In the animal kingdom, the mother animal, she risks life and limb in order to take care of her child. Black women, they don't do any of that. They would rather, like I said in my previous video, leave their child at home while they go lay up with Pookie and Ray Ray, or do whatever they want, be all on social media, doing whatever it is that they want to do. This is exactly what we have going on in the black community, because black women are very dysfunctional. Black women need to see some type of mental help, but they don't want to do that. And when you do call them out on that, then they want to sit up and say you're bashing them. And the reason why I'm saying this over again is for repetition, is because to drive home the point. Driving home the point as to regards to the thinking of a ghetto, ignorant black female. Yeah, I said all of that because it's the truth. Now, I know not every black woman is like this. I know that. But there needs to be more good, stable-minded black women out here who needs to be speaking up and who needs to be talking loud, letting their voices be made known, letting it be heard. That's what they need. So I just had to come at you with that story, and to also give my own take upon it, because it really is sad. It really is a shame that we can't even go anywhere and know how to act and be on our best behavior. That's the point. We can't go anywhere and know how to be on our best behavior. And then you wonder why other groups look at us and don't want to be around us. It's because of your mentality and because of your behavior. We have to deal with the Pookies, and we have to deal with the Shanays. We have to deal with these fools in the black community. And I'm sad to say, I don't even think it's going to get better. Sad to say it. That's all I have for you today, and I do hope you enjoy the rest of your day.